All right, let's go ahead and look at another problem we're going to run into with our Node projects, and that is how to support multiple hosts on the same server. It would be really unfortunate if each of our servers could only support one web application or one host, as we very frequently are running multiple services, multiple websites, and multiple other things all on the same computer. I've actually gone and created a little folder here in lesson 10 called vhost1, and I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to say npm install express here. And while we're waiting for that to work, I'm going to go to vhost1, and I'm going to write express vhost1.js. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we'll do this with Express, and then in the next sublesson or the next part, I'll show you how we can do this with our proxy serving solution that we saw. So first, I would like to show you a little slide here, and this is the problem we're solving. Basically, I have a request coming in, and I want to support 3 different websites, 3 different services, 3 different hosts. Now, HTTP 1.1, one of the biggest features they added to this protocol was the ability to add the host header here, and you say who you want this request to come for. Now, some web server or some routing software along the way is going to figure out that host A should go to this particular instance of the web server, and then indeed routes it to the correct place. So in these next 2 parts, I'm first going to show you how to do this using only Express, and then afterwards I'll show you how to do it running the node, the HTTP proxy we saw before. So let's double check. Yep, our Express is installed and ready to go. So let's go ahead and write an Express app to do this. So I'm going to say var express equals require express var app, or let's call this the master application equals express like that. Now what I need to do is I need to create one Express application for each of my virtual domains or virtual hosts. So I'm going to say var1 equals express 1.get, it's just anything coming in there, goes function request response, and we'll say res.end1. Next, I'm going to say var2, let's actually just cut and paste these like that. 2 will print 2, and then finally 3 will print 3, like that. Now, the master app will actually just use a connect middleware component called vhost. And so let's do master app dot use. Let's set up logger just because I always like to have it there. Like that. And now we're going to say master app.use express.vhost, and we're going to say anything asking for app1 will use this this application object 1. Similarly, we'll add support for 2 and 3 like this. Okay, so that's all we need to do that. Now finally, all we need to do is say master app.listen on port 8080, and that's all we need to do. We have our application, and assuming I typed it all incorrectly, which is kind of a hit and miss, we called that express vhost. Whew, we see we did actually type that incorrectly. Now, we can actually just do curl, and we can have curl pass in the host header. So I can say curl. Let's actually go back here. It always looks nicer if I do the new lines here. So let's go ahead and add some new lines like that. Now I will relaunch the application. Yes. Okay, so let's say curl-x get. Now I'm going to add the header, and I'm going to say let's ask for app1. And I'm going to send that request to this server on port 8080. And you'll see whenever I ask for app1, I get that. Similarly, if I ask for app2, you'll see I totally did it wrong. And that is because I forgot to do this. Ha! Okay. Let's fix our server. So, number 1 sends everything to return 1. Number 2 sends everything to return 2, and number 3 returns everything to return 3. Let's try that again. So we'll get 1 again, and we'll see that that returns 1. Let's ask for number 2, and now you'll see that that returns 2. And if we ask for 3, you'll see that that does that as well. So that is fantastic. Now, if I actually want to test things out by just using the host names, what I can do is I can actually modify my system hosts file. I can actually modify the DNS entries for my machine. And the way I'm going to do that is by modifying a file called etc hosts, like this. And this is going to be the true on Mac machines and on all of our Linux and Unix machines. And you'll see here, as I was playing with this previously, I've already gone ahead and added 3 entries to etc hosts. You first specify the IP address, and then you specify the name of the host you want to resolve to that IP address. So I have app1, app2, and app3 all resolving to 127.0.0.1, which is the same as localhost. So assuming I've done all this correctly, I should be able to say app1 colon 8080. And you'll see the host, though, always wins. So you can now see that I can actually send requests straight to the actual server that I want to respond to the request. Now on Windows, this is a little tricky. On Windows, you need to, as an administrator, edit the file Windows System32 drivers etc hosts, like that. And you'll see here, then we have that same file, and then I can do the same thing, 127.0.0.1. And I can do app1, and I can do app2 and app3. Oops, need to get used to these keystrokes. There we go. I can do the same thing on Windows. So I just wanted to show you that so you'd be used to that. So that is how I can do virtual hosting using Express's built-in virtual hosting functionality.